my son told me, he says, Dad, don't get Hollywood scrawny. What is that? Hollywood scrawny? It's because a lot of actors allow Hollywood to put it in our minds that our authentic selves is just not good enough. It's okay to be who you are. I'm not saying be obese and be in front of the camera, and if you feel that you need to look better for yourself, that's fine. But allow Hollywood to make you believe that you are not pretty enough, that you're not handsome enough, that you're not tall enough, that you're not this enough and that enough. Kill it.
Yeah.
Kill it. Hard.
Hey, welcome to KROSS BARZ, the podcast where we discuss interesting topics with alternative perspective. I am your co-host, Big O. I have with me.
Hey, Tanae's back in the building one more time with our guest, Mr. Al Woodley, Alfred Woody, writer, director, actor. Give it up, give it up, give it up.
There we go.
Bars.
Okay. Let's start it off like this. All right, going from history, from when you started and all that other stuff. No, I want to know, because I want to get this off my chest. What's your favorite chicken spot? Yeah, I went right there.
All right. You can't go wrong with chicken and waffles here in Los Angeles. Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. You ain't gonna say churches, because I wanted you to say that live on the air.
I'll say I worked for church. I worked for churches for a time. I did about 15 or so commercials for them. Chicken is good. Don't question it. It's really good. I mean, but there's something about Roscoe's.
Okay, all right.
Roscoe's.
Okay. I stumped them, Jay. I stumped them. All right, so we get out of there, because I wanted to get that out the way. Because listen, I was going through your catalog and looking at different movies and clips, trying to be well prepared, and I was like, it was weird because I was looking at the beginning, and you always was a button-up, straight-laced guy, some type of officer, law enforcement, fire, emergency, something there. And then later on, I saw the humor, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. He's kind of like, it almost seemed like you reinvented yourself. And I was like, wow, that's pretty unique.
It's an interesting thing. Like you said, for me, when it all started, I was doing theater, right?
Oh, wow.
In Atlanta, in New York, Atlanta. I came here, and it was all about TV, commercials, film. And when I decided that I was going to go full out, I was introduced to a lot of comedic situations, and surprising to myself, I was getting a lot of that, a lot of comedic stuff. So, it was, one of those things, But I am a guy who loves comedy and drama, and you're going to start, and I have some stuff coming out pretty soon that's going to be what we call dramedy. So it's a mix between drama and comedy.
I like that.
Gotcha.
I like that. So that's pretty awesome. All right, so let's get to the beginning. All right. So where are you from? Where did you grow up at? Because I want to.
Okay, I grew up in New York City. I grew up in Harlem.
Uptown.
Yo,
uptown all day.
Yeah,
in fact, if you know Teddy Riley, Teddy and I, we grew up together. We went to school together.
Wow.
We were in the band together. Teddy was a phenom when he was in the 6th grade. He was a phenom, that far back. He could play the guitar, drums, and the keys. And he was good at every instrument, pretty much. So he was that guy.
Teddy Riley. So now you in that area with Keith Sweat.
Right.
Around Harlem area.
That's correct.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you listen, watch this. You knew about you was there for the real paid in fulls, because you in that era.
Yeah,
like, right?
With the real Dapper Dan and all of that, right?
Real Dapper Dan. You know where the Dapper Dan spot at. The Apollo,
I know that. That's right. I know where all the bodies are.
Oh,
no.
Whoa. Okay,
no,
yeah.
That's
the real body.
Hey, he said about growing in school. So he did go. I see where you read that you did go to school for vocal music and drama where you were younger, and then you went to John Jay.
Yeah, college. Like a law school.
I thought I was going to be. Okay, let me back up. I thought I was going to play professional baseball. And in the interim, law was something that I had an interest in at that time. I wanted to be a lawyer. I thought I was going to, and I ended up playing lawyers on TV. And so that's how it happened. Crazy, right?
Yeah. It was natural. But you did go into that in younger too. You were talking about, because you did do law with Rikers Island. You worked at Rikers Island for a while.
Right. I worked at Rikers Island for about 10 years. For exactly 10 years.
So I started. I got you. Get the paper.
Well,
yeah, I know get the paper.
I started in 1986, and
that was rough Rikers. Oh,
that was real Rikers.
Yeah, that was the real Rikers. That wasn't the
this was during the time of crack, the beginning of the crack epidemic, and growing up in Harlem, the dichotomy between what I saw in the streets of Harlem and Rikers Island was so similar. So, it was, and it's a sad situation, but I won't get off into that. But for 10 years, I from 1986 to 1996.
Man, so by the time you left there, you saw the infiltration of major gangs, whereas the Latin Kings was there, and then the Bloods. Really had to happen late,
they came later.
Yeah, that's what I said. Late in your. So by the time you were leaving, you saw the Bloods trickling in.
They were coming in.
Yeah, correct. Because many people didn't know on the East Coast, the Bloods that started in prison was actually to deter the Latin Kings from extorting them while they were in prison, because the Spanish people ran the inside. Because they stuck together.
See, this guy knows.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a teacher, man. He got all this history and knowledge up in his brain.
He got it.
Listen.
All facts. Yes. Yeah. I'm sorry. Bars.
Hey, bars. That's right.
Okay. So growing up in Harlem. So now let me ask this: going to high school, you got Teddy Riley. He was with the band kids because he was playing all the instruments. And then you were quasi a jock, but you wasn't playing basketball. So Harlem, and then make it so bad. You was there when the heyday of the let's say the Rucker. Because in the 80s,
the Rucker.
Rucker tournaments. Yeah. That was part of my childhood. I mean, there are names that I could go way back on. I mean, you saw a lot of NBA guys coming to the Rucker, and those guys on the street was given business.
Correct.
Yes.
Later they got better, but I remember the 80s, they was like the 70s and 80s was different.
It was giving them the business. And if you were an NBA player and got served up at the Rucker, you didn't come back to the Rucker unless you knew you could, serve them up.
Correct.
There was a lot of guys, lot of talent out there, man, for real.
Some cats didn't want to go to the Ruckers because,
Did they just do like 50 years on that Ruckers? I think they had something like a 50-year anniversary for the Ruckers.
Yeah, I think it is about that. Yeah,
it is.
For sure.
Yeah. And that's pretty awesome that, so many people had videotapes and everything. I was the type of person that I always took pictures and snapped things. But if you had video, now it's like super awesome. So now you're from Harlem and you have a diverse background. So, you worked in law enforcement. Now, the catch is, okay, in Harlem while you were there? Did they see you as Popo, or they were like, yo, nah, he a straight laced guy, you know, he just getting that paper, or they looked at you like,
you know, some people will always see you as law enforcement, because I mean, for whatever reason, if they're doing wrong or whatever, I don't know, but yeah, you know, I mean, some people, you know, saw me as you know, one of the guys. I mean, and I'm always one of the guys. I mean, I never allow my job to dictate the man that I am. Like today, I'm an actor. I'm a professional actor, but that doesn't dictate the man that I am. I have opinions about things, strong opinions about certain things, and I don't. Just because I do this for a living doesn't mean that you need to know how I think about those things. So it's important for me to maintain a certain level of anonymity when it comes to certain things, you know?
Right.
You don't have to discuss that. So now you were in law enforcement. Well, not law enforcement, being a correctional officer.
Yeah, that's law enforcement.
Yeah, law enforcement at Rikers Island, one of the roughest, detention centers. Because I want to say prison. It's like a holding until they.
It's not technically it's not a prison, but the inmates would tell you they would rather be upstate
than at Rikers.
Than at Rikers Island.
Right.
You know, let me
That's right, and I'll tell you, one of the things that I'm glad about. The experience that I got from Rikers Island prepared me for Hollywood. Let me tell you what I mean.
You dealing with a bunch of criminals? Like,
well, no, not whoa. Well, not quite in that way.
Bars.
Not quite in that way.
Okay.
But how it prepared me was, you know, a lot of the time when you came to work as a correction officer, if I were to tell you about my day, you would never have a true understanding about what I'm talking about, right? You would never really get it because you're not part of that world. Most of the people that you found the most trouble with were the people you worked with.
Facts.
And the administration.
Facts.
It wasn't the inmates. You already you knew what the inmates were going to bring you.
Right, that's the easy part of the game.
But the people you worked with, I mean, that right there is the challenge. Absolutely. You know, you worked with some people that you question, how the hell did you become an officer?
Yeah.
And why? And you should be an inmate, you know?
Yeah.
But coming here to LA is the same. The preparation. When I came to Los Angeles back in '97, I realized, wow, it's kind of the same thing, because a lot of the stuff that you deal with here in Hollywood are the people you work with. Not the other actors, but the powers that be.
Correct.
And so I have to leave it quite kind of like that.
Because I don't want to. Before you get yourself in trouble, I got you.
That's right.
Let me cut you off. All right.
SAG after. Look, you want to keep that SAG after. Want to keep that SAG going.
We're not here to stop any checks. We're not here to stop any checks. All right. So now tell me, you actually were there for 10 years, because I just heard something. So in '97, you just said, "Damn this! I'm going to California. I look good. Y'all from Harlem. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. I got a pension, so I'm good with retirement. Let me go. I'm fully vested. Let me go to Hollywood." And that's what you did?
So just before I went to Hollywood, I made a quick stop for about 2 years in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, because you left in '97. I was like, you from '86.
I know, I left in '96.
Yeah.
So, but in 1997, I'm in Atlanta in '96, right after the Olympics.
Nah, yeah, I know what you was there for. I was there too. That wasn't the Olympics. You was there for Freaknik. Tell the truth, man.
No, absolutely no.
Freaknik was going down about '96.
Yeah, Mom, I'm gonna move down there. Freaknik happened. Nah,
Freaknik was going down in '96.
It was some good days.
There was some wonderful days. Great days.
All right, so you got down there in '96.
Got down there.
The Olympics just left. Yeah, got you.
Just left. And I'm gonna tell you, Atlanta in those days boy, those were some great times because I worked at V103 radio station. I was I went by the name of A Train.
Hey, I heard you.
Yeah.
I lived in Marietta for like a half a year. I got you.
Oh, really? Okay, nice. Yeah. Worked at 103 with Rick Party. Yeah. And we were the talk of the town for sure. And then I met Tyler Perry before he was Tyler Perry.
Yeah, he was doing the show. Got you.
And I did a play called "A Change Is Gonna Come" that he directed.
Okay.
And it was phenomenal because it was the first time I ever gone on tour. And so we were in the Southeast, basically touring from city to city to city, and it was amazing.
Wait a minute. Yeah, you just jumped again. See, I'm
catching. Okay.
I'm catching you jump. Yeah, you doing the thing. Ding, ding. You jumping.
I'm trying to stay.
You went from yeah. Because
I'm trying to keep you in the years though.
I'm trying to keep the sequence. So you're telling me you left New York City in '96. You went to Atlanta. After the Olympics. And then you may audition because Tyler Perry had a name for himself, doing the local plays and really
that's correct.
Church people.
Right.
But did you go to school for theater or acting? You went to school for like law, I would say like
but that was college. But prior to that.
Yeah, prior to that, yeah.
Prior to that, everything was the arts. I went to the School of the Arts.
Oh, in New York?
In New York.
Oh, you were smart. Okay.
No.
Oh, you were smart. Yeah.
But I mean, and then I ended up leaving there and going to what was the name of the school? Up in the Bronx, Stevenson High School.
Okay.
They had sports, and I needed that because I was an athlete, know, and I didn't want to just do.
You was an anomaly. You was in New York playing baseball in a basketball city. Then you went to the Bronx.
Check this out, though.
And you came up with that type of accent.
In those days, you couldn't go to a park and not see a whole bunch of brothers playing baseball.
No. That was
really?
The handball and the baseball was straight Spanish.
But baseball?
Nah, man. Baseball.
Had baseball.
School him, Mr. Woody.
Yeah, listen, I'm from Jersey. So that's why I was like, I know. You know what I mean? Like it's some brothers that play handball too. I'm not denying that. It was some brothers that did play baseball.
We dominated baseball.
So
in New York City, we dominated. And let me tell you something. You could go down to Central Park on all the baseball diamonds, and you would see a plethora of black players.
Okay.
Wow.
Playing baseball.
Okay, I can't speak on that.
That's that other side.
You're talking about
that other side, though.
Because I know for me, I'm a little younger.
He was like 5 years old.
Yeah. I was a little younger. So like, I grew up late 80s, mid 90s. I'm like, yo, those was just Spanish and white. You see some brothers, but then you walk up on them, you're like, oh, he Dominican because I hear the accent. But
brother, like you and me, we're playing baseball and we're damn good.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely. Okay, so that's
but you're hard pressed to find that today.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
But let's get back to Atlanta for a minute.
Yeah, let's get back to Atlanta because now you just came up on the scene and you went to the School of Arts, but you was playing baseball and doing your thing, going to be a lawyer, and then
something had to hit for Al. Something
had to hit you because you said, "Let me try out for this play," and then you got the part. So something you had to draw upon.
My buddy, who was a correction officer, had left the department, and he moved to Atlanta. He said, "Al, this might be a great place for you, man, to come down to." At that time, I was looking at the DeKalb County Police Department.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And I was about to join the academy and the whole nine. I didn't have the heart for it anymore.
Thank God, because
that wasn't my.
I know.
I mean, I didn't.
Right. You hustling backwards.
Yeah, exactly right. And so, sometimes you're thinking, okay. You know what? I'm gonna try this. And then my inner self said, this is not what this is about, man. You would have just stayed in New York and made way more money.
Way more.
Than they were paying you in Atlanta to be a police officer.
Correct.
But when I met Tyler, it was a hell of an experience. You want to talk about a guy who, I mean, just knew his stuff. Very funny guy. I'm talking about socially. Funny dude, crack you up. I tell people all the time, you know, y'all think y'all can just run up on Tyler? Tyler's a big guy.
Like 6'4".
Yeah, he's huge.
No, I think Tyler's actually 6'5".
Okay, 6'5".
Yeah, he's a big man. Yeah,
he's a big guy. He might sound tender.
Yeah, got a deep voice. I saw that early because I'm looking because I look at other actors. And I see when other actors come on the show, and I'm like, okay, Genuine is like 5'11", 6 feet, and he's way taller than Genuine.
Towering, yeah.
So I was like, he's towering over him.
Oh, for sure.
You know, so then
he's a big guy.
Correct. So
big guy, funny, talented.
Absolutely.
And I had the pleasure and not just a pleasure, but it was a privilege, man, to be in that orbit. To be quite honest with you.
Gotcha.
And then it was time for me to go.
Gotcha.
And
why did you go?
Because my agent that I had was at this place called the People Store. My agent at the time, she said, well, if you want to, because I was asking her about going to Hollywood, and she says, you do well there.
Yeah, you looking for bigger opportunities. I got you.
And now Atlanta is just like LA.
Yes, it is.
Question. Do you believe that, you know, and you would know better than any of us, do you believe that Atlanta has more opportunities for people of color than LA?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I've heard that before, but I can't give it any.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, absolutely.
I'm not in it.
For sure.
Okay.
The good thing is, and this is for all the young people watching, you do not have to be in New York or LA or Atlanta anymore.
Okay.
That's right.
You can stay in your hometown.
Yes.
And you can audition a self-tape and, you know, put yourself on tape. And if they like you, they will come for you.
I feel that. And you know what's crazy? It's this one gentleman. I love his career projection so far. Young man, he was doing, I don't know his name, but you all know his art. He played Bobby Brown in the Every Little Step I Take movie.
Oh yeah.
I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
No, and then he was in what you call it? Raising Cain. Yeah, Raising Cain. Mm-hmm. No, he was in Power, excuse me. The son of Mary J. Blige in that series. But he started off as just doing these little skits online, and he was uploading to Facebook and now to Instagram, and that's how he got his part. And I was like,
yeah, his name is Woody McLean.
Woody McLean. Yeah. So when I saw the gentleman, I was like, yo, I like it. And he said, you know, and he kept telling his story of, yeah, I was doing these little skits, and then we start reenacting comedy skits from other comedians. So they would take a skit and they would act it out, and then they got very popular, and then they put it on just jokes on television, and, you know, kept on going. And then that's where they reached out to him, and he played a part, and he's a good actor. You know, and I'm like, man, I said, you know, I say the word good because I don't like to say great for everyone. But at the same time, I see more people getting opportunity in different places. So I was like, when you said that, I was like, yeah, I feel it, because many people are doing it. But let's get back to you.
Sure.
Now, I saw you as an agent coming in holding your gun. All right. How was it for the blockbuster? Because I looked at the stuff, and, you know, one of my favorite movies, Smoking Aces. The first one, not the second one. Yeah. You see, Smoking Aces. You was there briefly. How was that experience there?
It was a great experience.
Alicia Keys look like that. She like that, and you see her in Hispanic, black. Right? Ain't no disrespect, man. No disrespect, but you know.
Listen, Alicia Keys. You said Alicia, right?
Alicia,
Alicia Keys is exactly what you see in pictures. She's a beautiful woman, period. And she's really talented. I was really surprised that she was given the opportunity to play the role that she played, because that was something that actresses who train specifically to be an actress, not a musician, but to be an actress, would kill for these kinds of roles. But again, those are the politics of the business, right? I won't get into that unless you want. But yes, Alicia.
No, get into it. I want you to talk about the politics. No, I don't want you to get in trouble now. Leave your name out of it.
No. Well, the fact of the matter is, sometimes you work hard as an actor. Okay, most actors work very hard when you see an actor on TV, that actor went through a lot to be where they are. Absolutely. Right? It didn't just come because they were so great. It came over many, many, many nights, many days of being told no. And now you got your shot. But then you bust your behind to be the best actor you can be, and then here comes a rapper, or here comes a singer, or here comes somebody who's not necessarily looking to become an actor, but we understand the politics of it because they put asses in seats.
Correct.
And many of them come with a built-in audience. But the truth of the matter is, there's room for everybody. Okay. Because there's a lot of money out there to be made, and there's room for everybody.
I like that you said that.
But it's because it's true. I wouldn't begrudge a guy because he's a rapper or a singer or a painter, whatever it is. It's all art. It's all of what we do is performance art, creative art. And everybody, just because you train as an actor doesn't necessarily mean that you're right for the role. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was blown away by the acting of Method Man.
Well,
man,
I got you. He had a lot of training, though. He had a lot of training.
Yeah. After the fact.
No, think about it. Music videos. People don't
not the same. Not the same.
No, that's not fair. Some of them.
It's not the same.
No, I'm not saying the dialogue. I apologize. No disrespect. But what I'm talking about is the mannerism and everything to work in a music video, because I can also draw on the fact that Hype Williams did a movie, Belly, and it still stands to this day because they just placed him in a sequence of saying, you're just a music video director. And he was like, no, I could direct, because he had many movies, and it was like, no, I could direct a full length. And that was his attempt at a full length. And it did very well. And he had rappers and singers, musicians as the main characters. And it did very well. But the only thing is the lighting was awful. But outside of that, outside of that caveat, I would actually look at it and say that, no, I really looked at, the nuance of like a lot of movies. That's one of my big things. Like, people know me, I know sports, I know history, and I know movies. I'm kind of good at it. I'm not great at sports and history, but the movie thing, I'm like, no, it was pretty good. And that's where it came from.
Hype Williams for the 90s was the man.
Right.
I don't know what he's doing nowadays. I haven't really heard a lot about him. But I will say, I mean, to your point, I think you're right to a degree, but it's not the same. A music video and me doing, having to have my character down for the duration of a film or a television show, it totally is not the same. You have to really, really delve into your character. You have to delve into storyline. I mean, it's just a little bit different, but it's art nonetheless.
Let me tell you about the few people who came from music videos that became great actresses and actors.
You don't even have to tell me.
Oh,
and
look.
I see plenty of them.
Vanessa K. Williams. You know what video she started out in?
Vanessa
K. Williams, the one that was in New Jack City, Rockabye Baby.
Okay.
All right, and she was in Soul Food, the series.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know where she came from?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not Mrs. America, the other Vanessa, Vanessa K. Williams. Yeah.
I actually know who she is.
Yeah. Parents just don't understand. Will Smith.
Yeah.
She was the girl that was in the red car when we crashed the parents' car.
Yeah,
and,
wonderful.
Rosario Dawson. No, not Rosario.
Another one.
No, Eva Mendes. Eva Mendes was in Summertime Video, Will Smith.
And she's kicking still.
Absolutely. Elise Neal. Kwame's Only You with the polka dots. Another
let's I'm sorry, go ahead, Don.
You probably get ready to say something about it, but I read this thing that you have about, it's called the acting perspective. And you were talking about, how you read a text or a script and how you as an actor have to interpret the character and how you're going to build the character, just from the writing from, whoever the writer was. So, and saying that, I'm saying that it's a little bit different because you can be in a music video and that's just who you are. It's just a natural little fun thing. You're not playing anything else. You don't have to be, another person or anything like that. But when you get into acting and you got to get into a brand new character, I think that's a little bit different.
It is.
I really do. I think you have to study it. You have to know the character. You have to implement some of your own ideas and creativity into the character to give it life, to give it breath from the paper, to make it, really what we see and we feel it and all of that. That ain't in the script. That ain't the music video telling the director telling you, okay, look to the side, look to the light. I need a little bit of more of this and and a cap. And you don't have all of that cheerleading around you when you're doing the script. You're studying really by yourself, unless you have a kind of like a script coach or something like that, helping you out. You really got to interpret that thing on your own. So I believe that it's a little bit different. I agree that there is some talent that you need, and some of it's natural. That's why they're entertainers. A lot of that things comes natural, and you can't pay for that. You can't, get it's like a preacher. Some people can preach and some people can preach. You know what I mean? There's a difference between the two. You got the anointing and then you got seminary school. Man. So I'm just saying, that's how I feel about it. But back to you, Mr. Woodley.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, look, again, yes. In those days, let's just be honest. In the 80s and the 90s, there wasn't a lot of opportunity necessarily like it is today for actors of color. Right. So music videos, that was it. That was the business for a lot of people getting a breakout role. Oh, yo, man, did you see that chick that was in La La La, whatever? Her name is Elise Neal, and she's this, huh?
I think it's the same because so many people.
Well, why do you think it's the same?
To try to get an opportunity. Like I look at Glover. He came out Childish Gambino, and then it's like, no, I really want to do this.
Donald Glover,
Donald Glover, but he came in this way to get a foot here. So some of these rappers and some of the, not even singers, but I say a lot of the rappers, they want to get an act and they can't get a foothold. But I'm gonna do this part so I can get into this part over here. So
well, that's what I was saying about, let's say, I'm just using Elise Neal as an example. I remember the first time I really paid attention to her.
Me too.
And that was in this movie called Rosewood, I believe it was.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And she,
Squeaky,
her name was
Squeaky. No, not Squeaky.
Her character name was can't remember her character name, but she was in it with Ving Rhames. Scrappy. Yeah, Scrappy. And she was amazing. Mm-hmm. She was absolutely amazing. And so anything else that I saw her in, I paid attention because she proved her worth. I mean, she did the thing, and I wish her well now, that she will continue to work in this business and because there's room for all of us.
Absolutely. Al Woodley shooting a shot on the air. That's Al Woodley shooting shooting a shot on the air. I'm not mad at you.
Whoa. Are you married, Mr. Woodley? I apologize.
No.
Okay.
Shooting a shot on the
air. Hilarious.
Shot there. I'm not even mad at you. I'm making sure I ain't disrespecting nobody.
No. Thank you for saying that.
So that's awesome. So now you have a book pamphlet and almost a guide to, you know, how to structure acting and how to actually get to, I believe, what is it, method acting or getting to character?
Okay, so I started back in 2003. I started a little acting school per se, called The Thespian's Perspective.
Okay.
And it went on. I mean, I have a lot of wonderful working actors out there doing their thing. And basically what the actor's perspective deals with is it's character work. It's living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. It's taking your character.
Mm-hmm.
It's taking your character and living in the actual world that this character lives in and becoming that.
Okay.
Not acting that, because we don't act. We don't start acting.
Okay.
We become.
Yes. You become that character. So
You become that.
And
You said something about Meisner. You came from the Meisner school, and they were talking about that with emotional acting. What's the Meisner? You came under that. Is that what that's about?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's Stanislavski, there's Meisner. These are just, I would call them guideposts, because what Denzel does is so amazing. I believe that it's not necessarily the method for him. But maybe, I don't know. Because however you get there, it leads to success. Because you can't just memorize lines. Action, yes, and it was true. Doesn't resonate with you because you're not really living truthfully with that character in the world of that character. So it's not about lines. It's not about memorizing lines. Never that. Because sometimes whatever the line is, you might say something even more prolific than what the line says. And a smart director will say, cut, keep that, move it on.
Wow. So now my question now becomes, since you mentioned that,
sure,
and getting to character, I think of two of them who played another person. So these were biographies. And Malcolm X, when growing up, when I saw Malcolm X, I was like, damn, you know, I'd never seen Malcolm X. He died before I was born. So when I saw the movie, I was like, all the videos I seen, I was like, man, I can't really tell them apart. He actually, you know, seemed like he
embodied
this person.
Yeah.
And the only other one that I really saw like that was Jamie Foxx and Ray.
Yeah, I was going to say Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx and Ray. But now flip it to the other side. I've seen other people portray other entities, but I'm like, you got like,
I got to challenge you on that one.
Okay, give me one.
Go ahead.
Okay. Jeffrey Wright played.
Oh yeah, that's my man.
Jeffrey Wright played
Peoples in Shaft.
well, yeah.
Dominican.
But he played Martin Luther King.
He did.
He played a light-skinned Martin Luther King, and I believed it was Martin Luther King.
Okay, now what you've been saying that Martin Luther King has been played by a plethora of actors, and I take four out there. Jeffrey Wright played the best. The other one, Paul Winfield played the first one. I was
about to say Paul Winfield.
Yeah, Paul Winfield.
He played a tall Martin.
Tall Martin. Martin with a process too. Like put that out there. And then the gentleman, he's younger, that just played in Selma, and he played Martin in that one. Brown skin.
Oh, the African brother?
Yeah, African brother.
Yellow.
So of them, I would go with Jeffrey.
I like him.
Even though Jeffrey Wright would not look like, at least the other two are brown skin. You know, Jeffrey Wright might not look it, but he gave the charisma that Martin had. Many people don't get that. Like he was able to go to the pool hall, talk socially to the people, the players and the pimps and all those people. He was able to do that. You know, me reading historically, it was like me breaking it down. I was like, yo, he was able to do that, whereas the other ones were just more pristine and so robust. I was like, that wasn't just him. He was able to go between, you know, cultures, and he was so relatable. But I give you that. However, I wouldn't take that role, him playing Martin, and put them next to Jamie and Denzel. That's not fair.
I hear you. Yeah, I hear you.
But when I'm putting on equal pairing, or let's say where Viola Davis played, was it Bessie Smith? She just played.
Oh yeah.
I think it was
yeah.
Bessie
Mom
Mabley or Bessie Smith.
No, Mom's Mabley.
It was. It wasn't Bessie Smith. I seen it where she was sweating and she sang. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Ah, that was
Flipping me too.
the singer.
The singer. Yeah, back in the 1930s, I want to say 20s.
Jesus.
But we all seen it. It's on Netflix. But what I'm saying is that I wasn't so in tune with the character, so I couldn't have a point of reference saying, well, she played, Viola Davis is a phenomenal actress. So I couldn't say, all right, but we were able to see clips of Malcolm X. We seen clips of Martin Luther King. We seen clips of Ray Charles. So when I see that, I say, oh, I can match them up, whereas some of these other people could. So just like Billie Holiday, you know, when they just did that one, I was like, so the young lady who did it, when that came out last year, I was like, okay. But if you look at the older one, Lady Sings the Blues with Diana Ross, I look at it and say, that don't match up. You know what I mean? I say it's cool because, you know, but Diana wasn't raunchy enough. Whereas the newer one.
You know, here's the beauty of it all. Each actor, though some are more prolific than others in specific roles. Mm-hmm. This is what I take this back to. Doesn't matter that you've been studying for the last 30 years as an actor. You can't do everything, okay? There are some people, there are some newbies right out there right now that are just waiting to come and show us something that we've never seen before.
Absolutely.
We know that because it's just like a Michael Jordan, you know, they come along every 20, 25 years or so. Or I mean, you know, Denzel Washington. I go back to Denzel because Denzel is, and I'm going to make a segue from that to this in a second. Denzel Washington, Sidney Poitier are the two men that I have patterned myself behind.
Gotcha.
In this way. These are men, or well, God rest Sidney. But Denzel Washington, he never sold his soul in this way. I never saw him in a dress. I never saw him play anything he didn't want to play. I saw him be a man representing Black manhood, period. I kind of feel like Joe Brown right now, Judge Joe Brown right now. I promote manhood. But me, and it could be because of where I'm from in terms of my time here on this planet, and where I come from, you know, being a Black man in America is not an easy job. And so portraying that means, for me, portraying the very best of us, even the very worst of us. But there's some things I won't portray. And I'll leave it at that.
See, now you're going to get us in a part of segment.
Bring it in, bring it.
No, I got one too, though. I got a question.
Because he said some things, and I'm going to test them. I got to test, an actor right here.
Come on.
Yeah. So now, give me, and you got to do it quickly, give me your top 5 Denzel movies of all time.
Ah, man, my top 5. Top 5. Jesus, man. Glory.
Glory,
of course, the cop film that he did with
Training Day.
Training Day.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. I love Training Day. Okay.
I love Training Day too.
Denzel Washington in what was the where he was I can't name all the films. The one where he was in the hospital and his son
John Q.
Woo!
Yeah, love John Q.
One where he was in prison playing the actual man.
The Hurricane.
You said 5. That was 4.
Yeah, that was 4. Yeah, you had it big.
And Malcolm X.
Okay, you had it like maybe a B plus. That's I'm trying to be nice to give you a B plus.
It's okay. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you something.
That's his choices. How you gonna?
I know.
Judge his choices.
I've never seen a Denzel movie I did not love.
Oh my God!
I like all Denzel movies.
Like Man on Fire. He that John Q is not no Man on Fire. Him about to kill all the people.
I like Man on Fire too.
Yeah. Then
y'all forgot the Book of Eli.
Look. Nah, we ain't gonna.
But listen.
Look.
He got out so many.
You'd have to say
Philadelphia. That's the one. I'm like, really? You ain't put Philadelphia in it? He played the hell of that. You know, Tom Hanks together.
Yes, he did. And listen, and he did it at a time where it wasn't.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't do that now.
Yeah.
You better say nothing about that community now, bro.
Yeah.
Nothing. You will be banned.
I was like, oh. I was like, yeah, because I was happy you put Glory in there because that's the one people get. But people put Training Day. I don't put that one high up. I put Soldier Story because of the acting in Soldier Story over Training Day. I like that he played a bad guy because people say he was a bad guy. I say, well, Soldier Story.
Why did you like Soldier Story?
Because he was the a-hole. He was technically a-hole and he wasn't the hero. Because a lot of times Denzel always played the hero to save the day. And, or he was the bad guy that turned good. So with Glory. So when I looked at him and like at a time, I always put Lawrence Fishburne because I looked at his diversity. Whereas I start looking at Denzel and I said, he's kind of playing the same character, but then they put out Training Day because many people said the thing I was saying as well. And it gave him like, no, he was the bad guy. And I was like, whoa, this is the first time we saw Denzel, not have a redeemable quality and just been a bad guy all the way through. So that's why I enjoyed Training Day because I saw that side.
Not trying to change your perspective.
Gotcha.
But keep this in mind. Denzel Washington is a star, right?
Yeah.
And when you become, no, check it out.
Gotcha.
Let me rephrase that. Superstar.
Yeah.
When you're a superstar, when you're of superstar status, it's almost like you kind of dial it in. The acting part of things, Denzel Washington is a superstar, period. So you said, well, he's kind of doing the same roles. It's almost the same things, no change. I've heard that. I've heard people say, Denzel Washington is always Denzel Washington. He's a star because you see him like that. Same thing with, now I'm going to say this because this is the truth, my truth, okay? Will Smith is a major star, big star, but I don't believe that Will Smith is a great actor. He's a good actor.
We both did. We both, okay, I'm going to give you one that is a superstar.
I think he said that before about himself.
But he is
he said his work ethic is his biggest thing. He can work to get the roles that he needs. Not necessarily that his acting was the greatest. I think he said that.
I'm going to give you an actor that is a superstar, but he has a diverse catalog, will be Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle played Rocket and Rocket in Colors, played a straight like gangbanger. Just like Jeffrey Wright, because Jeffrey Wright and Don Cheadle are the same actor. One is light, one is dark. Because he also played, Don Cheadle played Captain America. Captain America. And then he'll play Miles Davis. So Don Cheadle, I can see him playing a good, bad. He played then he played with along Denzel and was able to hold his own light. Like Denzel, because Devil in the Blue Dress. Because Denzel overshined, but he was mousing that one. So that's why I was like, nah, Don Cheadle has that diversity. Whereas I wanted to see more from Denzel, but I like him to make this comparison when Denzel is making sure that people do not take what I'm saying disrespectful, because I do not. I'm a candle and Denzel's the sun.
making sure people understand I'm not trying to cast any aspersions upon them. Now,
Right.
watch this. If you look at, you know, like, lost my train of thought. If you look at, like, say, Don Cheadle, Jeffrey Wright, got all those diverse characteristics, right? Denzel is similar to Luther Vandross. Luther, I didn't know until later on that many of Luther's big hits were remakes.
Most of them were.
Most of them were remakes. I had no idea until someone had to say, because when he remakes your song, it's no longer your song, it's his. And I'm like, yeah, Denzel, yeah, he comes in and he Denzel's the part or the movie. So
He
Got you. I got you. He Denzel's it.
Yeah, he Denzel's it.
I got you. I was lost for a minute. I'm like, what
Yeah,
you
so
got to
it was
do with
like, I
Luther?
understand that, but it was like, okay, he's here.
But brother, that's artistry, and that's the job.
Very true.
That's the job of that's what we do. This is what it's all about, man. Taking a blank canvas and creating your art. And that's what Denzel does. That's what Luther did.
He did.
I could write a song and say, all right, Luther, check this out. Listen to this. And I'm singing A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then he goes, yeah. And now it's my song, but he made his.
But it's no.
Yeah.
Luther Vandross disrespected because when people say house is not a home, they do not say Dionne Warwick. No one in their mind will say Dionne Warwick. It was like, house is not a home by Dionne Warwick. Like, you mean Luther? No, he redid her song. You know, it's like,
I got you.
You know, so that's why I'm like, yeah, Denzel is similar to Luther, like it's his. So that's pretty awesome.
That was good. That was a good little analogy. I was lost for a minute. I give you bars on that, Big O. I can give you that.
And you know, everybody in the world was listening closely, like, what he said? And
I would. You see me go like this?
Yeah. Every black woman in the world hear this, be like, what he said about Denzel? I'll punch it. Like, I don't want that smoke. All right, but now
talking about Denzel.
I have some. We call this segment where I'm going to ask you some questions. Right? I'm going to give you two. Choices, right? You're going to say one choice or the other choice, or you can say neither. No, excuse me, both. How about it? You can't say neither. You're going to say one or the other, or you got to say both.
Go.
All right. Chick-fil-A or Church's Chicken? Neither.
Oh, you said Roscoe.
Okay. All right. Lawrence Fishburne or Samuel L. Jackson?
Fishburne.
Ooh.
All right.
Ooh. Okay. Easy one. Powerade or Gatorade?
Timeout. Can I get a timeout?
No, you want to explain it? You want to explain it?
I gotta say, because real quick, super quick. Sam Jackson is a hell of an actor. Fishburne is just maybe a cut above. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But
both men are phenomenal thespians.
Yeah.
And they do our craft well.
Very much.
Okay, go ahead.
I would think that Lawrence Fishburne and Denzel basically are the same because they're theater, like stage method actor, whereas Samuel Jackson is for the movie screen, whereas they can go on stage as well. But that's just my opinion. Let me say, Spike Lee or Tyler Perry?
Spike.
Okay. Now, my question is, all right, when you get to another role, right? No, excuse me, not get to another role, but become a director / producer, and you have $1 billion budget, okay? What are the two main actors or actresses or actresses, and then you have 2 co-stars roles, and you have 2 female and 2 male actors, okay? Give me the 4 that you are going to direct, and you cannot put yourself in the role. You can only be the director / producer. Who are these actors going to be in the movie?
I'm going to go with Daniel Day-Lewis. I'm going to go with
Blood.
I'm going to go with Denzel Washington.
Okay, the 2. So they're adversaries. Okay, got you. Already seen.
I'm going to go with Meryl Streep.
Okay.
cool.
That boy's platter. Got you.
And then I'm gonna go with my girl.
Ooh.
Jesus, wait, I'm blowing it. You know who I'm talking. We just talked about her.
Viola Davis.
Viola,
Okay, over Angela?
of course.
Ooh, you said of course. Ooh.
All right.
Hold on a second. Now, listen. Angela,
Viola bring the snot. Angela don't bring the snot.
I love Angela Bassett.
Hmm?
Angela is a hell of an actress.
Okay.
I just think, my opinion, that Davis is just a slight cut above.
All right, now you're on a tech roll. Let's get it back there. Here we go. All right.
She just said, have you heard her story though, man? Viola Davis's story. Her backstory is deep. She did a whole interview on Oprah about how she grew up really, really poor. I mean, like rats running around in your bed, type
like
thing.
in
And
Rhode
how
Island or something, right?
somewhere up north, somewhere up north like that, northeast. Yeah, but her backstory is something else. So she done came a long way. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of throw that in there.
Okay. So now you have Meryl Streep. So now I'm trying to put the movie together. So you got Viola Davis. So you got the Fences cast. Look, you got the Fences cast. So
he said vintage.
I got the best actors on the planet together.
Meryl Streep is.
We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna put it in the air. It's coming. It's coming.
Meryl Streep is tough. Like that's one of my when somebody say best actresses, I always put her in a cut. See if somebody know. But yeah, she tough. But Daniel Day-Lewis, I'm like, yeah, I always see him as, what is it, Gangs of New York? I'm like,
hey, listen, he played tough. Lincoln. He played Abraham Lincoln.
Right.
Nobody's business. And we talk about. Listen to me. We talk about what we just. We talked about Jamie Foxx when he played Ray, and we talked about Denzel. But man, Daniel Day-Lewis played. Listen, none of us were alive.
Correct.
Right.
When Lincoln was on the planet. Mm-hmm. I felt like I got to know who Lincoln was.
He was very
as a man, as a human being, because he embodied my mind. He took over my mind, and I said, "Oh,
I love that. Yeah,
that's Lincoln."
You know what's scary?
Right.
I'm gonna tell you a little scary thing about a movie he did, and it kind of made me nervous because I said, is that true? And some people say, quietly, it was a true story, but it was fictional. And that was, I think it was called There Will Be Blood or something when he was playing the oil tycoon.
Right.
He is oil, and that was supposed to be John D. Rockefeller. Like that's how the oil business actually got started and everything. And that's how he had to be so cutthroat to become that wealthy. And when someone kind of put me on it, I was like, nah, that's a fake movie. And it was like, it's fake, but they didn't want to put somebody's name on it because
it's fictional.
Truth to every movie.
Yeah.
I think every movie has some truth to it.
No,
I really do.
Yeah, true.
It got to be because there's no way some of the stuff that they could be saying in this movie. There's not some people could say conspiracy theory or whatnot, but there has to be some truth to some of these movies.
Yeah.
Come on.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Even the alien one.
You know what they say? Sometimes the truth is in plain sight.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
So you believe there's alien among us? So there's aliens walking among us, acting and roles?
I think could be.
I don't know.
I am with the sister because
I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know. We don't know all.
Okay.
And we think, I don't know.
Okay, go ahead, brother. I'm here. I'm listening.
I'm just saying. I don't think I've seen an alien. I don't think I have. But there's a lot of people who say they have seen things that weren't necessarily human, but it was in human form. There's a lot of people saying this now. Now, is everybody down with this conspiracy theory that we're not alone? Remember the TV show? Remember the TV show that came on with what's his name? Great actor too. Used to come on TV. It was like a
Al.
No. It was
Melmac.
but it dealt with extra.
The cones. What is that? The cone heads. Yeah, with the cone heads.
No.
Not
That,
that.
you talking about comedy, man.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You was talking about X-Files.
No. X-Files.
X-Files. Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Oh,
Thank you.
X-Files. Yes.
X-Files. And I'm telling you right now, they did a a series of these make-believe stories. Yeah. I'm just saying. They have found some things underneath the water, the deepest parts of the ocean. I won't get into it. Do your own research. That look like human beings literally living in the deepest reaches of the waters.
Correct. Yeah. And they speak about like octopus, like that wasn't, because it doesn't have
Cocoon, the movie.
Yeah,
Cocoon.
I'm
just saying, there's other. I just believe that there could possibly be something
Hold
else
up.
besides what we are.
Brother Woodley. So
yes,
now, tell us that you're writing skits, or is that what you're doing? Correct.
Sketches.
Sketches. Writing sketches. So now in these sketches, is that a form of saying, you know what, I didn't get the roles that I think I deserved or I've earned, so I'm going to create my own roles? And I think I heard this last year when people were talking about Issa Rae, where she was creating so many opportunities because she said, she never got the part because sometimes she believed it's the way she looked. She didn't look this way or didn't look this way, so she didn't fit any of these roles.
First of all,
are creating her own roles.
Shout out to Issa Rae.
Absolutely.
I did a episode in the last season, Insecure, and Issa, shout out to her. She came in and she did exactly what I'm doing now. She just happened to be successful in the way of going mainstream with it. If you have an idea, if you have the wherewithal to write something that you see yourself in, that's great. Why not do it? Why do you have to wait for somebody else to write it and then audition for it? Create it for yourself. That's what I do. It's not just sketches that I do. I actually have a couple of TV shows that you'll see soon. I'm gonna go ahead and just say it like that.
Okay, shoot. Hold up now. Do I gotta give you what's it called? The headshot? I got a big head.
Go get you some headshots.
No. Because they say like
some double headshots.
Now watch this. You see how she cracking on my head? They say like, famous people have big heads. So I should be the most famous person on
He needs a double headshot.
Yeah, I do.
Y'all must do this all the time.
Yeah. It's all good.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, look, this is what it all, again, if you have an idea, and let's say you're in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, wherever you may be in the United States of America, or wherever you are, if you have written something that you think is really good, why do you think you got to wait for Hollywood to sign off on you? You sign off on Hollywood. You say, okay, I'm giving myself permission to become a star. I'm giving myself permission to star in something that ordinarily probably I wouldn't get a shot to. I'm a working actor. I'm saying that because that's really the goal, to become a working actor. You've worked so long that now you get a pension because you've earned it. Right. See what I mean?
Yeah, you pay your bills. You don't have to wait tables. I got you.
No, I mean it's a blessing,
Absolutely.
It is a great business to be in, but it's also, don't get mad at me, kids. I don't believe it's a business for kids. Because
ask Raven Simone that.
As hell on adults.
Wait a minute. Why you say Raven Simone, Tanae? She's almost
because she said it's hard for kids, and now she talks about that. When you look at her, things that she's doing, and she did in interviews, and she was saying it was great growing up as a kid, but she didn't, she was doing the things that her mother and them wanted her to do. Like she didn't want to rap. They say do a rap album. They said you didn't want, let's do something different or whatnot. And so she was saying in some of her things, she enjoyed it, but it took some of her away because she didn't get to be a full kid.
Okay.
She didn't get to be,
and we've seen
kid.
that. We've seen that story before, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Right, absolutely.
With a lot of
Yeah.
people. Look, I mean, look, the industry, this is a powerful medium.
The Olsen twins.
I mean, this thing is dealing in things you don't want your children around. I'm just tell you like that. And it's hard on adults. So what do you think it does to a child? A child grows up in the business, is a big time child actor. Now that kid is 19 and nobody sees you as the cute little cuddly kid anymore. And so now you're trying to do the one thing that you know you can do, and that's act. You know you can act, but nobody is checking for you.
How do you do that? Like, so in that industry, is there something that assists people, whether you're old or young, with the transition from going from, young, then my voice is changing, like Steve Urkel did, and he had to switch up, and come another, Stefan, because his Urkel voice was getting deep, so he needed to do, you know what I mean? And so is there something in the industry like built in that helps you go to the next level? Because some people can't do it after that, or, they kind of lose themselves. I don't know. They're not seeing that.
I don't know. Okay, let me give a little love to my union, to my wonderful union, the Screen Actors Guild. I believe that there are some transitional situations for older actors. Younger actors, I'm not so sure about though.
They get typecast. Like Arnold from Different
I'm
Strokes.
personal friends with Todd Bridges. And Todd
Bridges, yes.
Yeah. And Todd was a child star. And Todd can act. But has Hollywood forgiven him for his trespasses as a younger man?
Right.
So when you do see Todd, you may see him on some kind of radio show or podcast or something like that. There have been people like Everybody Hates Chris that gave Todd Bridges a shot.
Yeah, he was the Army guy.
Right. That's right. And but Todd's a great guy. He's we used to play baseball together. Can you believe that? And Todd and his brother.
He was a Harlem kid playing in Harlem?
No, out here in LA.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, different. That blew my mind because it was like,
yeah, he can play.
Playing Different Strokes in Harlem. All right.
Yeah. So, we got a chance to play in Celebrity Baseball League, and like I said, he was a child star growing up, and people saw him as just like his co-star, if you remember the one, Gary Coleman.
Gary Coleman, yeah.
Gary was a sweet, cuddly kid. Remember growing up, we saw him, we just wanted to just give him a hug. And then as an adult, not so much anymore. Yeah, he wasn't
his family, like, abused.
No, I know. I'm just talking about Hollywood, not necessarily family. Yeah. Hollywood. Someone said the Olsen twins a moment ago. Yeah. I mean, just do your own research. You can see for yourself. I mean, Hollywood is a tough place for kids.
Yeah, that's true. And
it's tough on adults.
It is. But Todd Bridges, one thing I want to say is his greatest films was when he was a kid. It seems like, I'm just being honest. Because my favorite one with him in was Cornbread Earl and Me. People don't even remember that show. Like, that's why I say, like, I'm a connoisseur. Like,
who else was in that? Let's see. Who else do you remember in Cornbread Earl and Me as the star?
As the star? Was that Dr. J?
I don't remember.
That wasn't Dr. J, because no.
You just said his name earlier.
Lawrence Fishburne.
There you go.
Yeah. But I think because Lawrence Fishburne was in it, it was Todd Bridges, and Dr. J was Cornbread, right?
I don't know.
Dr. J?
No, that was the fish that saved one. Fish that saved.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
I'm getting mixed up because it was basketball. That's why I was like, some of them older movies.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And then he was in Roots. People don't remember that Ty Bridges was
That's
in
right.
Roots.
Ty Bridges was in
You
Roots.
know, so it's like,
I do remember. Yes.
you know what I'm saying? He was what
That's
Kunta's
wild.
son. That
That's
was Kunta's
wild.
grandson.
That's wild.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you start looking at, and when you said his name, it was like, man, bing, 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 all these things just came back. That's why I got a big head. That's why I can remember stuff like this. So, you know, all those big head clubs, you know, like I'm an alien. So, you know, you got to put me on. So,
Yeah.
but,
he might be.
Yeah. But I don't care because they put the good looking.
Aliens are nice people.
Yeah, they put the good looking stuff up front. You know what I mean? but you know, I got to get ready to get up out of here. So you got to tell us, how could we reach or see you in your upcoming endeavors? What are some of the things that you would like to promote? Because number one, I like the sketch. I love it, like the online sketch. That's why I get to see the up and coming.
I like Rolling Blaze.
What in the world? Yo, you
Rolling Blaze. That was his name. His name was Roland Blaze. He's a drug dealer. When he got arrested in that one, I was really cracking up laugh when he was saying the economy was messing with his
Oh no, that's the new. Got you. I was sitting there looking like, what are you talking? Okay, you talking about the new? Got you. So now
that I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No. So no. What is coming up, and so we can get all of your.
Okay. Just shot a on an episode of a show called Reboot on Hulu.
Yeah.
So that should be coming up pretty soon. I just shot another commercial for oh God, I can't think of this stuff, but I got 4 of them in the bag right now. I did one for US Cellular. I did one for I'm sorry, I can't think of all the commercials I've done.
That's all right. Hey, busy man, we got it.
But yeah, I've been staying busy, and I'm working on a dramedy, as I mentioned earlier, and it's called Catching Gentry. Gentry was a professional baseball player. He's a catcher, and he's like a black Archie Bunker.
Wow.
And Gentry does not take well to the 21st century. He's an old school cat.
Got you.
With old school sensibilities. And his daughter comes home and surprises him from college, and she's now trying to transition.
Gotcha.
Oh wow!
I like this. I like the premise.
He's not having it. He ain't having no part of it.
Yeah, the most racist people on the world. Chris Rock said it. Most racist people on the planet is
old black men.
Old black men.
No, not necessarily that's racist. Yeah, for sure. That's
why I was like, oh, I like the premise. Oh, I got to see that one.
Hey, that's kind of like the opposite of that one thing you were in No, he's talking about the Archie Bunker, the black Archie Bunker, but then he played in that one thing. It just brought this up to me about the Remington Wallace Burnett, when it was like the white guy, the black guy that didn't know he was black. You know what I mean? It was kind of like the opposite of that. You know what I mean?
We did that before Dave Chappelle.
Really?
Before Dave Chappelle came out with
you might have to talk to Dave.
No, Dave is my man.
No, you didn't get back. Because that was one of his shows.
What was that character? He's blind.
Yeah,
blind power.
Said he divorced his wife because she was an in-lover. I said, oh my God, that was hilarious.
And so, yeah, funny stuff.
No, that's the crackhead. Bigums.
Good deal.
Oh, Bigums. That's right. That was his name.
No, that wasn't. Bigums was the crackhead. Remember Tyrone Bigums?
Oh, you're right.
That was the crackhead.
So what was the blind guy's name?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. It's kind of bad.
I don't know. I'd have to Google it.
Okay. But anyway, yeah.
Absolutely.
Funny stuff. Okay. You guys are awesome, man.
Yeah.
All right. So just let us know where we can find your handles, where to find you at on social media.
Instagram at Al Woodley. Twitter at I am Al Woodley.
Oh, somebody tried to steal your name already?
Yeah, I never knew any Al Woodleys until now.
It's crazy. I keep on saying, why are people doing I am? They were like, somebody stole they read I was like, that's some big.
And then TikTok is at A-Train.
A-Train.
At A-Train.
He went through that.
He put the Harlem in there.
At A-Train.
Quickest way to get
TikTok. All right, good deal.
All right.
And you know, Al Woodley is actually a countryside thing.
No.
I know it's totally off the rock.
His name his is to get your name to the top of the resume list. Alfred Woodley will get to the top every time.
Absolutely.
Omar
no,
Long
but Al
not
Woodley,
getting to the top.
Al Woodley is a parish in like, where was it at? In England.
Yeah.
It's the name of it. It's called Al Woodley. Yeah, it's like, and it's rich. It's a rich part of the city where there's like really a lot of people, a lot of millionaires, and great houses and things like that. I'm like, okay.
Before you go, I got a good one. Because I want to know this, and I usually ask some active people this question. How do you feel about so many of these Nigerian actors coming over and having a lot of influence in Hollywood? And
I love it.
Okay, you cool with it? Because some people
I
have a
love
problem.
it.
Like, all right,
No,
are you willing to go over there to what is it?
You know
Hollywood,
what?
you call it?
This is look. Listen, there's room for everybody.
Yeah, we need to get up. Oh, we need to get in. Oh, we need to.
Oh shit! I got my belly is. I don't got the 6-pack. I got the 1-pack. I got the K. I'm trying to get it down.
Don't worry about it.
Ready for me?
Just be you.
Me?
Just be your best self, bro.
Just be big up.
Hollywood ain't ready for me.
Up.
That's why I could be on
Hollywood.
I was on Rikers Radio for a minute. I was like, we're gonna put you on late. We're gonna put you on late.
You know, my son told me, he says, Dad, don't get Hollywood scrawny. What is that? Hollywood scrawny is because a lot of actors allow Hollywood to put it in our minds that our authentic selves is just not good enough. It's okay to be who you are. I'm not saying be obese and be in front of the camera, and if you feel that you need to look better for yourself, that's fine. But allow Hollywood to make you believe that you are not pretty enough, that you're not handsome enough, that you're not tall enough, that you're not this enough and that enough. Kill it.
Yeah.
Really?
I was gonna be thickums.
Be thickums.
I love it. I'm down for it.
Here's a question. Does thickums reside in the real world?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
There it is.
I'm looking for cookies and cakes and all.
So you got a fan base. There you go. I love it.
All right,
man.
Great. Awesome. Mr. Woodley, it's been awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I look forward to seeing more information.
Absolutely.
You picked up another follower on your Instagram. I don't do the other stuff because truthfully, I'm not real computer literate. So
I did. I'm following on all of those.
I don't know how to do that. I just got off Facebook maybe a year ago. They were like, "That's old people." I was like,
it is. Yeah. I'm saying it now. Look at all this.
I have no idea. So
you got to be on. I'm on them all. We're on them all. So we're going to sign out on that from KROSS BARZ, yo. This is Tanae, KROSS BARZ, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can find us on all this place. So, guys, we'll see you next time on the show. Give it up again for Mr. Woodley, guys. Thank y'all very much. Peace.